Well, hello everybody. I'm Dr. Mark Howard.
And I'm Kathy Casey.
And both of us are so excited, looking forward to spending a day with you on January 25th. We have this wonderful seminar we're so excited about called The Happiness Factor. And really want to share with you our understanding about how happiness is something that occurs within us. And so hopefully we will see you in person, get to meet you on January 25th.
Well, you know, Mark, this topic is so timely.
Yeah.
In fact, recently, Stanford University, they spent a whole day on this with Katie Couric moderating, talking about, you know, well, what is happiness, and are people really happy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I started to reflect on my own life when I was listening to folks talk about this. I started to look at my life in terms of how I spent a lot of time trying to achieve goals or trying to get to a certain place. And I mean, it even started when I was younger. You know, when we're little kids, we're always waiting for Christmas. You know, we're waiting and waiting and waiting for Christmas. And then Christmas shows up, and then after that, it's kind of like, okay, well, what do I wait for next?
Yeah.
And then now I'm waiting and waiting
Yeah.
for something else. And I look back on my life, and it seems like that's been a theme for me. Constantly waiting for something new to happen, and by then I'll be okay, I'll be happy. But then once I get to that point, then I'm looking ahead again for something else to be happy. And it's interesting how most people, we all are innocently chasing happiness, not realizing that what we're chasing and looking for is actually within us the whole time.
Yeah.
And it could be for little things, like I remember if I were taking a trip to Hawaii. So when it starts to get close to the time to take the trip, especially if you're working, you're like, countdown, can't wait. And then you get on the plane and you go to Hawaii, and then you have a great time, and then you come home, and it's like somebody stuck a pin in the balloon. It's like, okay, now I'm back to, you know, the everyday kind of life. And again, that happens over and over again. Even as parents, you know, we're always wanting our kids to do well, and you know, when they finally get, you know, good grades, and they finally get out of high school, and then they finally get into college, and then they finally get a job, it seems it's never there yet. It's I'm constantly looking ahead for when my child will be finally supposedly be doing okay, then I can relax and be happy. And so I think that's what we want to be talking about with everybody, is now what is that? Why are we doing that? And if we maybe understood that what we're chasing is not really out there, it's just something that's within us, we've just got the cart before the horse. Because see, if happiness is a fact, then from that, everything else works out. But see, we're trying to make everything work out so that we can get to this happiness. Yeah. So in a way, I just want to switch it around and have us realize that, you know, start from the point of happiness. That's a given. And then from there, that's where things start to work out.
Yeah, you know, Kathy, it was the same for me. I too had to wait until something happened before I could be happy. And I think that the happiness lied within it, like getting my doctorate. I have to wait till I get my doctorate, then I could be happy. But the thing is, that's only temporary. And I get back to my kind of troubled, stressful way of living. And like you, I was fortunate enough to catch on to these simple principles that pointed me back toward the fact that happiness exists in all of us. And it's there all the time. And it's not something that really comes from the outside in, but it's really something that we manifest within ourselves. And understanding these three simple principles, pretty easy to understand, they served as a vehicle to get me back to the truth of the matter. That happiness, the truth of happiness, is that we have happiness around us 24/7. And so when I first learned that, it was like a big relief. And I didn't have to keep waiting for something to show up or to attain something like get a new car before I could be happy. I realized all I had to do was kind of look within to find my own happiness through understanding these principles. So I'm really thrilled to be with you in January to share with people the simple understanding that really changes the innocent misunderstanding about happiness. That it's not coming to us from the outside, but it's always within us. And understanding simple principles allows us to really manifest that more.
And the other piece of that is the simplicity.
Yeah.
You know, in my mind, to achieve happiness or to achieve peace of mind, I had to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
When actually we're going to talk about just the simple thing that gets in the way of us being in that feeling of happiness.
Yes.
Or what gets in the way of us being or having that peace of mind. And it's so simple. And that's what's so brilliant about it is it's so simple. It's just something we see or we understand. And from that, we just start to appreciate more and more how the whole thing works. And how me wanting to win the lotto, well, that's a fun idea. But actually, whether I win the lotto or not, I don't need that to be happy.
That's right.
I could be happy now.
Yes.
And as we've heard, there's a show on people who have won the lotto, and it seems to have not worked out for them. So, and we hear that a lot. Money can't buy you happiness. So we're going to just talk about something so simple that just gets in the way of our true happiness.
Yeah.
And that's what I am excited about because, you know, the more we understand that, that's what sets us free.
Yeah, so that's really what we're going to be helpful to people about is how we all grow up with these habits of ways of thinking that kind of are obstructions to our happiness. You know, we get into stressful thinking or we get bothered or we think, you know, less of ourselves. So it's really nice to be able to point people to how they can find an understanding for where that comes from and how that points them back to happiness and away from these thoughts that really are obstacles to our happiness. Well, we're so excited about this. I hope that we get to see you on January 25th. We know, Kathy and I, from our own experience, understanding these principles really allows you to really just live with contentment, with peace of mind. You can have a bad hair day and it doesn't bother you. You know, you could get over things easily rather than carrying them around for weeks and find really the true vehicle for your own happiness. So we hope to see you and looking forward to it.
Same here.